Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'll be showing you guys some Ultra League battles because they recently released Ultra League now, and we will be using one of our main teams, which includes Swampert, Charizard, and Roseade. We will be getting a form with this team, so watch to the end of the video to see that. And with that being said, let's get on with today's video. For the first round, my opponent's first Pokemon is a Dragonite. So this is supposed to be not a good start for us, since he is going to be resisting our Hydro Cannons and our Mud Slaps, while he will be doing lots of neutral damage against my Swampert. Since I do have double moves for my Swampert, I do have Sludge Wave in the bag plus Hydro Cannon. Hydro Cannon is a Community Day move. It is Community Day move exclusive, and I would recommend using your Elite Treasure Gems if you guys do have any, because it is really good. But the Hydro Cannon did do a pretty good amount of damage. I am going to throw in a shield here and then throw in my Sludge Wave. My Swampert is still doing pretty good damage against this Dragonite. I don't think my opponent will predict that this is actually a Sludge Wave, and he will go down, which is really good for us since Dragonite does basically counter all of our Pokemon. My opponent does make that is really good because once again, Dragonite does counter all of my Pokemon. So he does jump out into his own Swampert. Once again, Swampert is a water and ground type Pokemon, so if my Roseade does come out, he will be doing double super effective damage against the Swampert. So I am going to make a swap out into him. I do not have to go through the swap cooldown, so if my opponent does make a swap out into perhaps a Charizard, I can also swap out into my Charizard without having to worry about my Roseade going to die. So I do make a swap out into my Charizard against the Grand Bull because Fairy types will be doing not very effective damage against Fire types, and I did also want to preserve my Roseade's health against that Swampert, because he can use a Sludge Wave and my Roseade may faint from that. So these Dragon Claws are going to be doing not very effective damage due to Dragon being resisted by Fairy types. So we will be doing not very effective damage, but my Fire Spin is the one that's taking off the most damage. I am not going to throw in a shield here. I am probably just going to use the shield for my Roseade and preserve his health even more. One hit and the Grand Bull does go down, and my opponent does decide to surrender, and it does allow us to win the first round. Good game to our opponent. For the second round, my opponent's first Pokemon is a Blaziken. So this is a really good start for us, since Blaziken is a full counter against my Swampert. My Swampert will be fully countering that Blaziken, so my opponent does make a swap out into Venusaur. So that is even better for us, since he does have a swap cooldown now. So he cannot swap out into any other Pokemon. If he does have a Swampert in the back, he cannot swap out to it. Because of that swap cooldown, and that safely allowed me to swap out into my Charizard without having to worry. So I am not going to shield anything. Anything would be doing either neutral damage or not very effective damage, and none of them would faint me, even if I had max health or I was in yellow health. So the Venusaur does go down, and my opponent does make a swap out into Beartic. Beartic is an only ice Pokemon, and he can learn some fairy type moves, for example Charm as his fast move. And these Dragon Claws are going to be doing neutral damage against him, but my Fire Spin will be doing super effective damage against him, since Fire types are super effective against Ice types. So these Dragon Claws are doing pretty good damage as well. And he does have Powder Snow, so his charge moves are going to be charging up pretty fast. So he does throw in Ice Punch, and that does faint my Charizard. I am going to make a swap out into my Roseade. As you guys know, Ice types will be doing super effective damage against Grass types, but his final Pokemon is that Blaziken, and just in case my Swampert does take a huge amount of health and I have no shields left, the Blaziken can faint me, and that Roseade does not have a chance against the Blaziken. Hydro Cannon does one-shot him even if he does have max health, and it does allow us to win the second round. Good game to my opponent. For the third round, my opponent's first Pokemon is a Kyurem. Kyurem is a Ice and Dragon type Pokemon, So he will be doing neutral damage against us, but I am also doing not very effective damage against him because water and ground types are being resisted because of his dragon type, but my sludge wave will be doing plenty of neutral damage against him, and if it does go off, it may perhaps faint him. So sludge wave does charge up, and he did shield all of my attacks, so I'm guessing that he is also going to shield the sludge wave as well. Kyurem, I haven't seen Kyurem in the Great League. He may, in the Ultra League, he may be good, but I just haven't seen him, so I don't know his moves, so I am going to throw in a shield here. The Kyurem did throw in a blizzard. He would have done plenty of neutral damage against my Swampert, and maybe it would have fainted us. Since ice types are super effective against ground types, but not very effective against water types, that does cause plenty of neutral damage to help. That does cause plenty of neutral damage to happen, and Blizzard is just such a strong ice move, so I probably would have fainted my Swampert. So Kyurem does go down. He did take a direct hit from that sludge wave, and my opponent does make a swap out into Chandelure. That is even better for us because Chandelure is a fire and ghost type Pokemon. So my opponent did make a swap out into Metagross because of it. That is even better because my Charizard does get to come out, throw in those fire spins, and absolutely demolish that Metagross. Metagross does throw in a charge move. We are going to resist both his steel types and his ground types due to metal types being resisted from Charizard's fire type and ground types being resisted because of Charizard's flying types. So I do allow my Charizard to go down because it just will allow my Swampert to get a really good form down against that Metagross. And my opponent's final Pokemon is, we do not get to see that final Pokemon before he does surrender. It does allow us to win 3rd round win. Good game to my opponent. Alright guys, so that will be the end of today's video. If you guys did enjoy, please consider dropping a like, subscribing, and turning notifications on. It will really help the channel so much if you guys did consider showing your support.